We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey. How's it going? Happy Wednesday to you. It is hump day, my friends, and we are here ready to rock. Good to see you. I'm Stuttering Craig. Man, we got a good one today. We have a lot, as the internet has given us all sorts of chicanery along the last 24 hours, and we're here to chit-chat about it. Of course, joining us on this wonderful Wednesday, it is Blabs.
Hi. Hello, it's Wednesday. Today's a struggle bus, but we're still going.
Struggle bus? I'm on fire today. You kidding me?
Yeah, no, I got plastic in my eyes and they're kind of irritating me. I was telling this to Mally. I'm like, do I do a first world thing and put glass on my face, or do I keep plastic in my eyes? So, yeah. Contact lenses are made of plastic, Craig.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. A little context there. That's good. Just saying you got plastic in your eye. There's plastics everywhere in our food and the air and the water.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, Blabs. Sorry.
Okay.
And it's in your eye, too.
It's in my eyes.
Joining. What?
I just realized how bad that sounded. Anyway, I'm going to go home. Oh, wait, I'm already home, so never mind. I'll just go away.
Hey, Mally.
Hi. Poor
Oops.
Blabs.
Oops. Oh, my God. Can we just please take that clip of somebody saying Blabs going, it's in my eye? That'd be great. That's a horrible thing. But we're here ready to go. Glad everybody's with us. Mally, how are you?
I am good.
Are you? Did everything going well in the world of Mickey Mouse and happiness?
Well, Moneybags Mouse over there is still taken from everybody. But we got good news last week, so I've been on that wave since.
Oh, you are the vice president of Mouse, I see, or the VP Mouse right there. That's good.
Apparently.
The vice president of all the mouses. Well, we're glad you're with us today. We got a great show ahead of us, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on a number of different topics we have today. So, well, of course, I'd like to remind everybody we are live over at Rumble. We have the X account and, of course, the Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow us. Shut up. Follow us for clips and memes on the show. Otherwise, some sort of violence upon you and your cow and your sandwiches. But just so you guys know, we are now scheduling stuff out over the weekend.
Blabs.
Yeah. What?
Every day, I say the exact same thing.
Well, it's because I'm
every
doing
day.
stuff. My keyboard is loud, so I mute myself so you don't hear me typing
Blabs
like
really
Peter
quick.
Griffin in Secretary.
Hold on, Blabs. I
style.
got my headphones unplugged. What's that, Blabs?
I'm typing, working, doing stuff for thy, and my keyboard is very loud, like Peter Griffin, like a secretary. So
Yeah. That's
clickety
great.
clackety clack.
That's
So
great.
I'm mute.
That's wonderful. Do me a quick favor, Blabs.
What?
Say, and we have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs? Let's do it.
Granted, we have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
That's you every day. What?
Well, okay, whatever, man.
You know it's true. We also have the
I'm
audio
not
version
denying
of the show over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I should definitely do. Our goal is to be #1 by December 6th. That is our goal, by the way. So if you guys haven't gone over and downloaded the show or subscribed to the show over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, that's the big middle finger. That's the big middle finger we want to give, because on December 16th, the charting software that I use shuts down, and I want to be able to put a screenshot out just as a middle finger to everybody saying, fuck y'all, Access Media. Anyways, yes, I am spiteful and petty. Also, we have the Side Scroller Shorts channel, which is wonderful. So make sure you guys head over there. I'm sure Blab's saying something about her eyes will be on there today. So make sure you guys...
I don't plan on clipping that, I'll be honest with you.
You should definitely clip it.
Okay.
You can't just clip things that make me and other hosts look bad, Blabs. You got to do it
Listen,
yourself.
that is the power of the producer/editor. You can do what you want.
Blabs, that's not how this
true.
works. It's ridiculous.
I also didn't timestamp it, so
Well, I'm sure somebody can help out with that.
no
Normal
thanks,
man
chat.
out there.
No, thanks.
Of course, we want you guys to head over to sidescrollerspodcast.com. That's going to be our home base coming up in 2025. So make sure you guys head over there and make a free membership over there. If you want to support us, that would be greatly appreciated. The annual support goes a long way in keeping our show free and independent, and not able. We don't even run ads on our show. We don't even like put like YouTube ads or anything like that. So. And by the way, I get alerts about that every damn day. You could make X amount of dollars if you just ran ads. No, we are funded by you, my friends. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join the 107,000 just normal men who have found common sense in the video game and entertainment space. Glad you guys are here. Let's do our best to get to 1,337 thumbs up, and let's kick some ass today, man. We got a lot to talk about, including Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Came in with the $10 direct donation. So just some normal, innocent support for some normal, innocent men. What is best in life, Blabs? What is best in life?
You know, I had a sandwich this morning. That was pretty dope.
Your breakfast sandwich is a regular occurrence in your
Not
life.
every day. Sometimes I have cereal, sometimes yogurt, sometimes I just don't even eat because I forget.
Oh, good for you. What was
Not
up?
really. It sucks to forget.
Yesterday you had the egg sandwich.
I did. Okay, so today I had turkey with capers and mayonnaise and potato chips on a brioche bread toasted.
Brioche?
Brioche.
Yeah, brioche.
En
Good.
français.
Mally, are you a sandwich in the morning person?
I actually do breakfast burritos most days. I have a little bit of sausage or bacon on the side, and I do like egg and cheese burritos. Very basic, but I do it with hot sauce because I love hot sauce. So
Oh, yeah?
yeah, I actually just signed up for the Hot Ones monthly subscription box, and we got some of their hot sauces, and I got to try some of them, and I'm gonna be posting that video over on my locals. 'Cause
Nice.
It's a bit much.
That's great. Good for you. That's
So
excellent.
you should try the hot sauce challenge that you tried, Craig. You guys should see who can like outlast.
Oh, she'd beat my ass.
I think so too, to be
Yeah,
honest.
for
You're
sure.
kind of wussy.
I'm a
What hot
giant
sauce
puss.
challenge?
So there's this little niche store called Sam's Club that you go to. And at Sam's Club, they had a
We were
hot sauce
talking about
challenge.
Costco before the
Oh.
stream. Before
Yeah,
you
that's
showed
really
up,
funny
Craig.
that you think
Yeah, we were like bonding over our experiences of Costco, and here you are,
Yeah.
like Sam's Club,
Yeah.
Typical women over here. Costco.
shopping. Women be shopping.
Women be shopping. But yeah, they had like a full hot sauce challenge. It was 16 different levels, and I got all the way to the end. But it was tough sledding for a little bit. We did it on the show, and it was a lot. So
That sounds cool. Okay.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a compilation video of Craig struggling for 12 minutes straight.
Which
Okay, I'm gonna go watch that.
you could say that's every episode of Side Scrollers.
Yes.
It's just me struggling for an hour and a half, but I don't struggle. And Orthodox Monks comes in with the $10 direct super chat. Says, I saw a trailer for Next Level today where each episode is an animation from a game. 40K and Mega Man is in there. And there was one that made me laugh when it popped up. Concord. Yes. Orthodox Monks, will you tweet that at me? I heard about this. I have not seen it yet. I would love to see the trailer for this show. With Concord being shut down, that really goes a long way to ruining Concord's future. But that is pretty hilarious. RL Dog came in and says, Blabs, are you gonna watch the Harry Potter baking show hosted by the Weasley twins?
So I'm actually super excited about that, but I don't think I'm able to see it because I don't have like Food Network or HBO.
Oh.
But it looks pretty awesome.
I bet you it'll pop up on YouTube or something.
Yeah, it's basically like a baking show, just straight up like Harry Potter cakes and things, and like recreating everything in the Wizarding World. Kind of like how they do it for like other IPs.
That's cool.
And
Okay,
they filmed it at the Harry Potter sets, like in London, at the studio
wow.
tour. So like, and like a
That's
lot of
cool.
the actors are participating in it. So I kind of do want to see it.
I was gonna play this.
Gay!
Mally thinks it's cool. So she'll Craig, you.
But I realized that I'm outvoted today. So
Harry Potter's
totally
cool.
awesome, dudes.
Listen, who doesn't like a baking cake off show and all that? Like, come on.
Everybody loves watching people bake cakes. Everybody.
Exactly. You're just jealous, Craig, because you can't make a cake.
They should make like a Nintendo. Hold on. Take a step back, Blabs. I can make a cake.
Listen, making one in the sand doesn't count.
I can make What you talking about? Like getting sand up on the beach?
Yeah, I'm putting a little cake on the sand.
Blabs, unreal. I can make a sweet, mean cake. A mean cake. Ridiculous. Maybe we should have a cake off.
Fine, you'd suck. You'd probably buy the box from like Costco and try to make
No.
it there.
Hey, I have 2 loaves of freshly baked bread in my kitchen
Did you make it?
Homemade bread?
that my wife
That's
made.
what I thought.
No,
That's what I thought.
I made homemade peanut butter banana brownies last night. So top that. Yeah.
Damn, I am outnumbered today. It's ridiculous. Hey, Josh says my wife hates that I eat hot sauce with most meals. Yeah, hot sauce is one of those things, man. People really love it or they really don't like it.
I didn't get into it until the last year, and now I'm on it.
D-Day Cod Job came and says, Craig, I got your reference. Reference. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of the women. Conan the Barbarian. There you go. Thanks, D-Day Cod Job 11. I'm sorry that there were 10 other D-Day Cod Jobs before you.
Right.
And Josie Pure Blood says, hey, Craig, I think you're the only one who can do a professional, insightful Melissa Mercante interview. Can make it happen. Yes, she's been invited on the show before. Blab says no.
Fuck that.
And I think it's Alyssa Mercante, I believe. But I will interview anybody. And I will, as a matter of fact, the person we're going to be talking about today, I have actually reached out to and invited them on the show. So we'll see what happens with that. Stay at Home Hippos came in with a 10, says, what's up, bro, chachos? You look really great, Mally. Rachel Zegler's Instagram rant, like her previous rants, is unhinged and shows a lack of intelligence. In other news, bread can be sliced. A bread maker said so. Thank you, Hippo. Appreciate that greatly. Yeah, we're going to get to Rachel Zegler's rant here in just a little bit. But before we do, Blaz, please fill us in on today in video game history.
Okie dokies, November 13th, we have Final Fantasy releasing back in 2000. We have the original Assassin's Creed releasing back in 2007. And Spyro Reignited Trilogy releasing back in 2018. Ta-da!
Nice. Good picks right there. Solid. Also, some notable games you missed today include for the PC, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon 23 years ago in 2001. Was Crisis on your list, Blabs? I'm sorry.
No.
Crisis, the PC mega game, which was so beautiful along the way. Blabs, don't forget about the header. 17 years ago in 2007. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus for the PSP. Remember the PSP? That was great. WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, 17 years ago. And Super Mario 3D Land. Was that on your list today, Blab? Sorry, I didn't.
No.
Super Mario 3D Land 11 years ago. So, and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Wii U. Shit, man. Captain Toad. Oh, that's good stuff. And finally, Star Wars Battlefront.
Nope, that's Japan. Tomorrow is the US release. So
okay, thank you very much for that. That's good.
you
there
sit
you go.
down.
So you sit down. Sit down. It's good. So yes, great stuff. Lots of good games. We'd love to hear y'all's thoughts, normal men, about your favorite of those games. Lots of crazy games being released today.
Yeah, this month basically is like a plethora of games released in history.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, once again, this is December, so
well, it's November actually.
I'm sorry, it's November. It's the fourth quarter is what I meant. One game that you didn't
mention is it?
for the Dreamcast 24 years ago, Skies of Arcadia, which I know someone in the chat went out and played Skies of Arcadia. It's probably their favorite game. Just gonna throw it out there. It's a pretty prominent Dreamcast OG. The Skies franchise, pretty great. All right. Let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for Hard News. Hard News. Well, I plan to talk about this Korean McDonald's, but the link is now dead over on X, so we won't get to that.
Oh, that was really cool.
It
was like super high tech. Did you see it before?
Yes, I did see it before.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good stuff, but that's okay. We're not super concerned about that. But there is a new look for a shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Mally, have you seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movies?
No, actually.
They're pretty good. pretty good. You know, they listen to the fans. They reworked their character design for Sonic, and now they have Shadow coming in Sonic 3. Shadow is the hedgehog that has a gun.
Oh.
So he's super violent and he's mean. I think he's
I
also
played a little bit of the Sonic game, so I'm a little familiar, and I do remember the drama over him, and
Yes.
like that has been the staple for all CGI things. Is like, oh, are they going to Sonic it again? But this looks good. This looks
Yeah.
solid.
And I if memory serves correctly, I believe Keanu Reeves is playing Shadow in this movie.
Wow.
So, you know, just we'll see how that. I think a movie's coming out here in just a little bit. So next couple months or so. Maybe.
Yes, it is Keanu Reeves.
It is excellent. Memories did serve me correctly. All right, let's move on to another quick hit here with Game of Thrones. Blabs, you had something to say about this. What's going on here?
Okay, so basically, WB's like, we're gonna make a Game of Thrones movie now. So they shit the bed with the show in the last few seasons, and now they're like, oh, we're gonna totally do a movie. And I find it really ironic because that's all WB's doing right now is remakes. So they had the original Harry Potter movies, now they're remaking it into a TV show. You have the original Game of Thrones show, and now that's being remade into a movie. It's like, how original can you get, WB? Right on, bro. Yeah.
Another Game of Thrones. Mally, did you see Game of Thrones?
I was around a lot of it. I think it was hard to not be. I didn't ever personally watch it, but I think because everyone in my life was so obsessed with it, I'm aware that there's like a dragon girl that everyone's obsessed with, and there's some funny characters in it, and it's really violent and a lot of sex and all that, but it's like it really seems like this is the trend nowadays. Let's just remake stuff into a slightly different version of what it was before, and then make the same amount of money off of it because it'll work.
And they didn't even finish the series yet. Shout out, Martin.
They didn't. Wow.
All right, well, let's Mally, when you're on, we like to talk about theme parks and stuff. We try to bring you out with the theme park stuff. Did you hear the latest rumor about Bob Iger's potential successor?
Actually, no. This is going to be news for me.
Okay. So, and this actually has a video game tie-in, as they are looking outside of the company. They have 4 potential people that they're looking at. One of them being the current CEO of Electronic Arts of EA to potentially succeed Bob Iger. So this is kind of a big deal, as this guy has his name is Andrew Wilson. He is the CEO of EA, and he has done a great job of running EA into the ground. So there's a high probability of him running Disney into the ground. But he's got a great smile and he's handsome. So there's that.
What is this freaking like Newsom from California? Oh, he's got a great smile and he's handsome.
Yeah.
It seems like this Bob has learned nothing from his last Bob selection, because that's exactly why that one got removed. So let's see how this guy does.
You know, it's actually funny if you think about it, because EA had an exclusive license for Star Wars for how many years? And how many games did they pump out? Hardly any. And when they did, Battlefront 2 had a horrific launch, so much so that if I'm not mistaken, there was like a whole Hawaii lawsuit and everything going on too with that game because of the loot boxes and stuff. They just a wasted potential. All the fans wanted Battlefront 3. And they wanted all the proper characters. And instead we got like fucking BB-8 and BB-9 as like soccer balls, FIFA in Battlefront 2. So I just based off these experiences alone, it's like, why would you bring the guy who fucked all that up in to do more Disney?
Yeah, no, it seems like Disney is taking the opportunity to really jump into the video game atmosphere for some reason. And that's kind of just boggling my mind, because they've already been so in the video game atmosphere. And I've been playing video games games by Disney since I was a kid. I mean, anybody else will remember Club Penguin, Toontown Online, and Pixie Hollow. Okay, those were some of the first, because they were online. You had to go onto a browser and then you had to open the thing. And then it became, they closed those to do apps. And now that they're over with the apps, now we want to move into the full gaming universe. I mean, they streamed part of the D23 Expo exclusively on Fortnite. I don't know if this is going to go the way they hope it's going. Lorcana is already proving to be a bit of a failure. They're going to move it into a digital atmosphere. Video games are already under heat right now, from the subscriptions you have to pay to maintain your libraries. Like this is just a money pile for Disney, if anything.
Well, going back to you mentioned Fortnite. If you recall, earlier this year, they invested $1.5 billion into Epic
yes,
Games.
that's right.
Yes. So there's the tie-in there, which, hey, that's crazy. But the idea that they could potentially be going after the current EA CEO interesting. They also had reports of 4 internal candidates, including the co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, Dana Walden, chairman of Disney Parks and Experiences and Products, Josh. I've seen this guy's name, Josh DeMaro. Josh DeMaro. Okay. The co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, Alan Bergman, and the chairman of ESPN and sports content, Jimmy Pitaro. Jimmy Pitaro is a name that I know just from watching ESPN. He's kind of been the head of the snake over there. But looking outside, the idea of this guy from EA heading over to Disney is very intriguing to me. And he's obviously young, so they're looking at a long runway for somebody like this, a young executive who can pop on in. But I'll tell you this, man, an immense lack of diversity in this guy. He's probably the whitest guy I've ever seen in my life.
I bet you that when he smiles, his teeth are extremely dazzling white. Like, doesn't he have that persona about him that he's like, wow? Yeah.
He just looks like he'd have the celebrity veneers.
Yes.
The old veneers along the way. He's got Tom Brady teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what does this guy have to do with Disney? I mean, they are just taking face dive after face dive for these CEOs. They wonder why they're losing fans like me, who have been, as you can tell by my background, fans for life. Like, you're pissing us away, guys. Damn.
Wasn't it like when you pick CEOs, they were like working their way through the employment ranks of that specific company? It's like, you've been here for a while, long time. You've done a great work. Meritocracy. You are now the CEO. Now.
Well,
That's how you got Eisner.
Yeah, well, there are internal and then there's external, right? And sometimes, and to answer your question, what does this guy have to do with Disney? Nothing. But you know what he does have something to do with? Making money. And that's really what this is about. This is no longer Walt's Disney World and Walt's Disney Company. Hasn't been that for a long time. So the idea of staying true to Walt's vision is almost laughable at this point. The vision that they have is let's make as much money as we possibly can, and we're raising the prices of Disney parks as much as humanly possible. It's crazy. So his job is to generate as much money as possible and manage all the branches of the company, all the arms of revenue. So,
that's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Yay.
We'll see. He's stepping down, sometime next year, right? 2025 is his last year?
Yeah. He was only supposed to come back temporarily anyways, and then he extended that. And so now we're here, but yeah.
Yes.
He's like an emperor.
Really, though, he is.
Bike Short Senpai says, bring back WB Kids. WB. Warner Brothers are cowards. Hey, Warner Brothers can't bring back anything right now. They are treading water in a major way. They are losing so much money. It's crazy.
Dude, do you guys remember like the Looney Tunes stores at the malls, like the WB shops?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, they were so great.
Yeah, that was it.
Like,
even
we were
the
like the
Disney
last
shops.
kids to have it. Well, the Disney shops still exist, but they're absolutely like they're a shell of what they used to be.
Actually, it's so funny that you mentioned that. The Disney stores, because we all remember the 90s Disney stores where they had like actual moving statues in the stores. It was like a piece of the park got brought to your local mall. It was so fucking cool. And there's only, I think, one that existed until a few months ago, and now they're all gone. And now they made this thing, the last D23, not this one, but the one 2 years ago. They announced they were partnering with Target. So now you're going to start seeing Disney Targets open up, or mini Disney stores, basically a dollar section version of Disney inside of Target. So you have to go inside like a freaking Pizza Hut or a Starbucks. It's a little add-in. Yeah, those were where it was at, dude. You went in, you had the mountain of stuffed animals in the middle. You had games and clothes lining the wall. Music and cartoons were playing on the big screen in the back. I could spend a day there. That was a playground.
They had a computer game too. Like you could play. You could sit down and play like the Stitch video game. I remember that.
Yeah.
And you know what I was actually thinking the other day? Because WB was announcing how they're like going to be doubling down on Harry Potter merch. And it's the exact same tactics that Disney's been doing, where they're just like satirizing the market completely, just making all these cheap $1 things that people don't really like, or if they buy it, it's gone in like a year because it doesn't last. It's like, you guys are really fucking up your own country. This is like, not country, but companies. This is the one way that you're ruining it because the fans want stuff that lasts forever.
Yeah. No, and they had us tricked for so long, buying things that like would last a long time, but maybe not forever, or maybe they were a little overpriced. We played the game. We did it. I spent the money, but now it's crossed over into the unreasonable territory where I don't know if they'll get us back.
Yeah. You're muted, Craig, but that's fine.
Yeah, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get the X stream going, but that's okay. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. Yeah, it's obviously you guys are you ladies are super passionate about.
We're collectors.
We're collectors.
Lifetime fans. Watching this company destroy itself from the inside out is not fun.
Blabs, I imagine this is what your bed looks like.
I actually am not a huge fan of stuffed animals. Like as a kid, I loved them, but when I grew up, I'm not a huge fan.
You're the crazy lady who has 7,000 stuffed animals. Then
I don't have a single thing on my bed besides a blanket.
Yes, I am not even ashamed of that, not one little bit. Okay, I had to trim down my stuffed animal collection like 10 years ago, and it is not getting any smaller. I thinned them out. Now we just add.
Listen, you know what though? If it looked like what Craig was showing, I think it's fine because those were like those things left.
Comfortable. That is undeniable.
Those were the great stuff.
Well,
nowadays it's shit.
Imagine you, Blabs, put your arms out and falling back in. Oh, like the damn downy bear.
That's really.
Hey, I'm a statue collector. So those
Norm
those
came in. Says an EA CEO at Disney prepare for microtransactions at the theme parks and Disney Plus. Heck, there will also be microtransactions to finish a Disney movie in theaters.
Probably.
Thanks, Norm. Also said, to be fair, there's only so much you can do with a book series that isn't finished. Did you know that the Game of Thrones books aren't finished?
Wow.
And Matthew came in and says, holy moly, I can't believe Assassin's Creed is that old. That was my first game franchise that I fell in love with. Also, Mally and Craig and Blabs are looking really cute today.
Oh, wow. Even Craig.
Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate that.
Gay.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew. Now, really awkward. Radial Drago says, Mally's glasses are giving me Harry Potter vibes. Blabs, I'll let you read that.
You're a wizard, Mally.
Oh, I like it.
Draven came in and says, Mally, I saw your rant about the crazy lefties on X today and couldn't have agreed more.
Well, thank you.
Gear says, breaking news suggestion, Marquise Brownlee broke the warning from Lewis Rossman again and later caught speeding in a sponsored video. Absolute maniac. I did see that going around. Are you familiar with Marcus Brownlee? This guy, he's a huge YouTuber, like the tech YouTuber. And he had a video yesterday where he was driving this like Lamborghini for some super fast car, right? And in it, he's speeding down the road. In the video, it shows his speed, and he also goes past a speed limit sign, and he was going like 93 miles an hour in a 35. So he quickly like removed that from the video and tried to be like, I'm sorry. So, you know.
Wow.
Snake Master says, imagine Disney rebranded based on the CEO. Gather around, kids. We're going to Igerland.
Honestly, though, that's what it is now.
60 Watt says, I spent over $2,500 on my gaming rig and it still doesn't run Crisis. Sorry, 60 Watt. Yeah, that was the thing back in the day. And Worthy One says, hey, Mally, loved your video on people ending their friendships and cutting off family over politics. That really hit home in my case. Yep. Well, those people are nuts. They're crazy.
Yeah.
Benjamin says, Craig, will Mally and Blabs be judges for the Real Game Awards? The answer is no, because you are the judges for the Real Game Awards. And speaking of the Real Game Awards, make sure you guys head over there, use promo code SIDESCROLLERS and get $5 off your voting membership over there. I even got a promo here thing for you. So use promo code SIDESCROLLERS, get $5 off your voting membership right now. Open up a new tab. We actually added a new category today, Best Action Game, and that's the last one. So head over there, nominate, and we'll be voting coming up in December, which is great. All right, let's keep on moving on. Speaking of parks, did you see the unveiled trailer, the commercial for Epic Universe, Mally?
I've actually avoided watching it just because I wanted a grand reveal or something. So I haven't seen it yet, no.
Okay, here's your grand reveal. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Blabs, you're excited for this, I can tell.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is going to be cool.
Let's just get a closer look.
5 immersive worlds. One amazing theme park. Our universe will never be the same.
Oh, you gotta see this.
Epic Universe, only at Universal Orlando Resort.
That looks so cool.
Yeah, Mally's so
Did you see Toothless flying? I have seen test videos of that, like in real life. I've seen test videos of them flying him over Burke. Oh my gosh.
So you're really excited for the How to Train Your Dragon area, huh?
I am a huge How to Train Your Dragon fan. I'm also a Harry Potter fan, but like we also have seen little bits of that. You know, they already have so it's really an add-on for that. And while I'm jazzed, it kind of already exists. Same with the Nintendo World. Like we already have that here in Hollywood. So I'm like, okay, I've seen it. I want the new. The new is what I'm excited for.
Wow. Okay. Like you're the one. I didn't know there were many like How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
the music. How do you top that?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful music. It's I think an adorable story. I mean, yeah, I have a toothless Build-A-Bear.
Okay.
Wow.
That's news to me.
Well, actually, what do you think of the new movie, like the live action How to Train Your Dragon, where they're like they race swapped what's her face's name, Astrid.
So I don't think is it like already a thing? I didn't know if that.
Yeah,
was,
no, they
I didn't see that. I'm only talking about the animated ones.
Yeah, no. The live action is not out yet, but it is like in development. They cast was it Thandie Newton's daughter, so a nepo baby, and she's like half black or whatever as Astrid. So,
Astrid's the whitest white.
yeah,
Viking
they're
ever.
Vikings.
They're Viking. They're literally
Yeah.
okay. Whatever. Anyways, no, I hadn't seen that. I'm just jazzed about the animation.
Pretend the live action doesn't exist and
But I do
enjoy
most of
this
the time.
world of the animated. Yeah.
Cartoon's best.
Mhm.
Well, it sounds like you're pretty stoked about that. Will you be there on day one?
Day one, probably not. But I do
So
because that's
expensive.
gonna be a crowded flood of people I do not have any intention of being in. But sometime I definitely plan to go see it. Maybe when they discount the prices a little bit. I don't know. Not opening day, but definitely I want to go see it.
So I'm working on, and I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but I'm trying to get us there to do a show. I want to do a few shows from Universal Orlando. And I think it'd be really cool to, like, I'm imagining doing them outside, like with the parks behind us and stuff. Like, and I think it'd be really, really cool to partner with them to do those shows. If that was to happen, Mally, would you want to come and be a part of that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you can round up the troops right now. That's what we're talking about, which is great. All right. Rafflecopter came in and says, I simply, okay.
I get it. That's cute.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Thank you, Rafflecopter. Appreciate it. It's simple. Yes.
Let me grab some Rumble rants and local
Please.
rants because I don't want to ignore them. So over on
No, not at all.
Rumble, Das Pooch for Two says there's a reason why the actual marketing tagline of Frank's Red Hot Sauce is "I put that shit on everything. It's insanely delicious."
True.
And then over on Local, Spoon Ninja for $1 says, "Did someone say Dean Cain?" It's a picture of Dean. Then
No.
there's a meme about Craig from Spoon Ninja for $1. And then there's another one from Spoon Ninja for $1 saying, "Did someone say my name?" And it's a picture of Arnold. And no, we did not. But thank you, Spoon Ninja.
Nobody said Arnold. Speaking of memes, thanks to Release the McCracken over on X, who put this one out there. It's me making wonderful
Sand
cakes in the
castle.
sand, which is good.
I got
Using
tagged
AI.
in that. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I'm gonna like that.
That's bizarre and weird. Okay, thank you for that. All right, let's move on. Hey, the PlayStation 5 Pro is out, and people are trying to scalp. They're trying to scalp it. This is a thing that you see all the time when it comes to these new consoles on the way. Actually, can you double check for me real quick, Blabs? The PlayStation 5 Pro is out, correct? I don't want to be fact checked on this. Just
let me see.
check the release date. Either way, scalpers are already attempting to sell the PlayStation 5 Pro, but unfortunately, they're selling it at a loss, and because the demand is not there.
Yes,
So-
it is out.
Okay, so it's out. The retail price was £700, and they're selling it for less than the retail price along the way, because there's just not a whole lot of interest in it because, well, the graphical comparison isn't enough to justify spending that much money along the way. So
No.
this is one of those things that blows up in your face, which is wonderful to see.
Deserved.
Have
Yes.
you ever scalped anything, Mally?
No, but I was the victim of that once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this happens, not to be a broken record, but this happens with Disney stuff a lot. Tickets and things that if you're trying to get into an event, if you're trying to do anything, you can't resell those kinds of tickets. They have your name attached to them when you buy it. And so people get real gypped on that. Thankfully, I didn't buy a ticket like that, but I've definitely, like little popcorn buckets that sell out, all those little collectible things that you want that they sell out of the parks. You'd go to eBay, you go to these third-party sellers, you'd go try to look for them. And man, people have absolutely no shame. I mean, it disgusts me to see these people walking out with dozens of copies of the same thing, knowing what they're going to go do with it. They're just the worst.
You know, while you were talking about that, you said a word that I heard that you're no longer allowed to use anymore. Did you know this? You're no longer allowed to say gypped. Isn't that dumb?
Okay, I'm sorry. And I fully acknowledge that I might just be ignorant on this, but why, pray tell?
Apparently it has to do with gypsies, and it's funny, and we'll still say the word gyps. And
what? Fuck that! No, I'm sorry.
There you go, Mally.
Just like I've been jonesing. Like I stole all these words from my parents, so no, I no. Get fucked, stay fucked. I will say gypped.
Get fucked. I love it. Speaking of scalping things, just a quick glance for my potential scalping of Concord. It's not going very well, as I bought the game for $40 and I could make a sweet 20% if I sold it for $50. But I mean,
that's from today though, so it's not so bad.
Well, they've been sold. So do I hold onto Concord? Blabs, you think I should hold on to it?
Yeah, I think you should just hold on to them. Maybe they'll make a great coaster one day or something. Maybe in arts and crafts. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, if anybody wants a copy of Concord, get fucked. I'm holding on to them. Let's go. I'm taking my cue from Mally over there.
I love it.
All right. Something that's been really big, a big talking point on our show and just really across the internet and the gaming space over the last couple of years has been game preservation. And some people have been big champions of this for a long time. But there's a platform called Good Old Games, GOG.com. And it is their 16th anniversary, and they had a pretty big announcement today, which was pretty cool. They said, with the celebrations of GOG's 16th anniversary, we are thrilled to announce our new initiative. We're launching the GOG Preservation Program, an official stamp on classic games that GOG has improved, with the commitment to our own resources to ensure the compatibility with modern systems and to make them as enjoyable as possible. This initiative was created to make games live forever and once again bring the utmost attention to what the center of our work has been the last 16 years, video game preservation. We're beginning with the re-release of 100 classic games from our catalog with updated, improved, and quality-tested builds, including masterpieces like Heroes of Might, Magic 3, Resident Evil, and Diablo, plus Hellfire. And they have a video here, which we can check it out here. So let's see what we got here for their debut.
These are your games, the games that made you who you are, the games from your childhood. You wanted to play, collect, and pass them on. But they are disappearing. Most are gone already. You can't find them, store them, or play them. All games part of the GOG Preservation Program, we call them Good Old Games, have been preserved and maintained by GOG. We dug them out from where they were buried and used our own resources to make them compatible with modern systems, controllers, and resolutions, often correcting game-breaking bugs in the process. We commit to maintaining them compatible. Our guarantee is that they work, and they will keep working. On GOG, your gaming legacy is always in your hands, not anyone else's.
So that's
Dude,
cool.
I dig that.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
That was awesome.
I don't like, as pointed out in the chat, the AI narration. Not my favorite thing in the world, but it is what it is. But I think the initiative is great. The initiative is spectacular, and I'm all about it. So they currently, if you go to their website, it has 100 games in the program with an average rating of 4.2 along the way. And they're looking at they had 501 game improvements along the way. So you see Fallout New Vegas and all these games that they've gone in and are making them available, which is intriguing for sure. So you can actually go in and see what each game, how it was improved along the way, what they improved. Let's check this out with Resident Evil, the bundle, which is 1, 2, and 3. You kind of see everything down here along the way. So for each individual game, which is fun. Improved video subtitles, improved options, dialogue, things like that. So yeah, and cloud saves. So I think there's a really cool initiative along the way. These are, and now I'm pretty sure these are just still digital games instead of physical games. But I love the initiative. I love that they're making it available and holding on to it. That's their mission, is game preservation, which is great. So good for them. Blabs, you got anything on the idea? What if they were to do that with Roller Coaster Tycoon, Blabs?
I mean, listen, I'm always down for game preservation, no matter what the game, even if I don't like the game. And I'm always down to have more people listen about game preservation, because it is a serious topic. The consumers' rights are going away. I mean, we even just saw it yesterday with Ubisoft's lawsuit, where they're basically saying, if you bought this game after X amount of time, too bad, no refunds for you, even though they've completely shut it down. It's like, where's the consumer rights here? So I think the more conversation about any game preservation, the better off more people are, just understanding and awareness. So I'm down for it.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Love that. Great stuff right there. Furious TV says the games are slop. Remake culture slop. There's no huge incentive to upgrade to a weak sauce upgrade when the games are so pathetic this generation. Furious talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Thank you very much for that. Mercenary says GOG is the same people from CD Projekt Red. Such duality of these people. I don't know what to think of them at times. And Magnus came in and says, let's do this with politicians. Put them in a cryo chamber there, Magna. Some would say that many of our politicians have been put in a cryo chamber along the way. Mercenary says, sorry, Nintendo only for me. Appreciate that. Thanks, Mercenary.
You don't have to apologize for your shitty opinions, Mercenary. It's okay. We still like you.
Mercenary, you're my boy. Das Pooch says, best thing about GOG is that they let you download standalone installers. You don't need a launcher or to be online. Next best thing to physical media. Okay, cool. Morgan says, can we get along the way t-shirts? Well,
that's what I'm saying, Craig. I don't think you realize the amount of times you say along the way. You say about 5 times per minute sometimes, to the point where I think we actually need along the way emote. And anytime you say it, the chat can just go wild. Along the way. I'm just saying, it'd be fun.
Okay. Make the emote. We'll make it happen for sure.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, so there's that from Good Old Games. Let's move on to another big documentary. We always like video game documentaries, and there's one that's coming about one of the biggest video game franchises ever. This is kind of interesting. And even if you're not a fan of this franchise, you still got to respect what it's brought to the video game world. And that I'm talking about John Madden Football. So there's a trailer out that's going to be released on Prime, on Amazon Prime. It released a trailer for it. It's a 4-part series releasing in November, perfectly lining up with Thanksgiving. It's November 26th, so it'll be a couple days before Thanksgiving. Mally, have you ever played a John Madden football game?
I'm pretty sure I actually have, with my dad, naturally, right? And it was the way that he used to try to teach me about football, because your girl's been to a lot of games, but she don't know or care how it works. Okay, football's not my thing. So that's my extent of it. I still don't understand it, but I like playing the video game.
Right. Well, I think you can definitely understand the massive cultural impact that Madden has had along the way.
100%.
Blabs.
Drink. Chat. I'm doing a drinking game with the chat.
I like it. Well, let's check out this trailer and see what you ladies think of it.
Sports. It's one of the best sellers in video game history.
Welcome to John Madden Football.
It's in the game.
It's in the game. I guarantee you, baby, it's in the game.
This was a piece of culture. It wasn't just a video game.
I'm one of these guys who got into football through Madden.
My first dream was try to make it to the league. So I'm kind of living my athletic dreams through this game.
You want to know what it's like to be Troy Aikman? I'm going to play Troy Aikman.
Some of the best players to ever play have graced the cover of Madden.
But we were starting in complete chaos.
We weren't seeing progress.
Most of us at EA wondered if the game would ever get finished.
We just didn't think that would amount to anything. Bam! Doink! And boom! We needed some firepower. Excellent defense!
John Madden was the man.
Coach Madden was ready to completely change the game.
But I remember John saying, don't do anything to screw up my name.
John walked in, looked at the demo, and said, "What is that?"
We were very close to the deadline.
Do we have what it takes to make a hit? For John, it had to be authentic.
If I'm going to be part of it, it has to be pro, it has to be realistic.
This changed all of gaming.
There was competition coming from every angle.
It's impossible to stay on top.
Man's in real trouble.
We needed some gambles. Offensive plays, defensive plays, everything authentic in the game. The clock is ticking, and we didn't have an agreement with the NFL.
How is somebody 9 points better than me?
Every year, it's the same thing.
Yeah, who gave me this rate? And probably some computer scientist geek.
I have the credibility to critique those and let them know why they are where they are.
Signing a contract, being drafted, these are all big things. But another big thing is getting in the game.
When I was a kid, everybody loved it. Didn't matter if you were a sports gamer or not. That's the goal.
I remember talking to the kids who weren't really into sports. We would like connect on things that normally we wouldn't connect on.
The joy and the fun of the first time you played Madden with your friend. We have to pay homage to that. That's a magic thing.
Wait, my whole life for this.
Players look at Madden as a reflection of who they are.
Touchdown for Prairie.
You can learn everything from playing a video game.
We're on top every year.
It's going to get bigger and bigger.
It's in the game.
Definitely a hype trailer.
Yeah. Trailer's hype as shit. Blabs, you're looking confused.
Well, I'm not. That's just my resting bitch face. But listen,
okay.
I think, honestly, I think this documentary would be great for fans of the video game or like the original video game and fans of football. Now, personally, I don't give a shit about football, so this isn't for me. But I think it would actually be very interesting for people who actually want to watch it and are very curious about it. And it looks well made. At least I hope it is.
Oh, well, I guarantee it's going to be a great thing. And I bet it's going to be huge numbers. Madden is culturally, I mean, yes, they have, it's the same thing every year. Everybody knows it, right? With some minor tweaks along the way. It should just be like a downloadable update. But why would they do that when they could charge you $60? By the way, just to bring it back to the first story, what company produces
EA Games?
EA Sports. Yes, that's right. Who is they're looking at who? The Disney's looking at who? The EA CEO, right?
Well, and don't Disney have a huge contract with ESPN? We're circling it back, bro.
They own it.
Yeah. So circle back.
All right. So anyways, look out for that coming here in just a couple weeks along the way. So Crazy D says, I played Madden 96 when I was a little girl, which is how I got introduced to football. There was I think there's a lot of people like you, Crazy T, who are out there. And that's the one thing about this is there's like in the 90s in particular, and I would say less into the 2000s, late 2000s, I would say if you played games, it didn't matter if you played Madden or NBA Live or whatever. Like you just played games and they were a little more arcadey. And while Madden was meant to be real, the real version of football with all the plays and everything associated with it, it still felt arcadey, which was welcoming to the average player along the way. So I'd say a lot of people have played at least one Madden sometime in their life for sure. So Christian Rocker says Mally can run a mean pick six.
Bro.
Mercenary says, yuck, Angry Joe. Can't they use someone else better? No, Mercenary Joe. He's part of the system. Crazy D says, can we add along the way count on stream?
I'm just saying it would be difficult to update every few minutes.
Yes,
we're probably at 50 right now.
Really?
Dude, you don't realize how much you say it.
I don't.
It's a lot. Like
I don't. Okay.
Mally's gonna start paying attention. She's gonna be like, wow,
I didn't. I'm not. Now I am. Before you could have gotten by me.
Yeah.
But now I'm listening.
I didn't notice it until I saw a comment about it in one of the live streams, and I was like, does he? And then I started listening for it, and I was like, oh my god, it's everywhere. Because they were like, Craig, that's not what along the way means. Stop saying it.
I'm gonna keep it
Shut up, everybody. Shut up.
It's like a tick now, I think. You're just like,
I'll
along
be-
the way, along the way, along the way, along the way.
When I'm talking, I don't really think about what I'm saying sometimes. I'm just
No,
trying
that's
to
helpful.
navigate to the next spot, right? So
I feel like if you're ever bored, can you go and make a giant compilation of every single along the way and turn it into a song?
how about you do it?
I don't want to do that. That sounds like torture. Do you know how many times I have to listen to along the way, along the way?
You
It's like,
should-
do you know the way? No.
How about you go back through just this episode, the start of this episode, and do time codes every time I say it, but don't say anything to me. Just do time codes, then do a slice together. We'll make it a social
You
media.
went through 49 minutes of footage of just saying along the way. Like, do you hate me? Like, really?
Watch it in double speed. Blabs, you're the producer. You're the stud. Let's go.
I don't want to do this.
Magnum says, Blabs, no Reiki football. I stopped watching when they started bending the knee to the flag. I was like, this game isn't for me anymore. Let me get some UFC. There you go, Magnum. Appreciate that. Way to stand on your principles. 60 Watt says, NFL Blitz greater than Madden. Fight me. I will not, and I will actually join you in that fight, sir. I love me some NFL Blitz. Ranger George says, as a Brit, Madden is what got me into the NFL as a kid. That and Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Let's go, Ranger George. Appreciate that. SNK fan says, NFL Blitz is the real football game. You know it. And Strigoi came in and says, playing Madden as a kid was how I knew I had no interest in dorsal. I'm guessing football. Thank you for that. And Gear says, let's not forget about Deranged Joe attacked Eric July and Knights Watch Australia instead of playing a game called Honkai Impact. Wait, Joe attacked Eric July? Really? That's silly. Furious TV came back. Thank you very much. Says, the people that insulted us and called us nerds and losers for playing video games, being interested by every aspect of it, are now in charge. It's over. Hang tight. Now, it's okay to be upset about things, and we get it, but we're going to get through this. But speaking of people who are in charge of silly things, we have an article from The Gamer. Now, this article was from 2023. So this is about 18 months ago when this, a little bit over a year ago, September 1st, 2023. This is from Stacy Henley. Stacy wrote this article saying, stop using mods to make female characters prettier. Well, here's the thing about Stacy Henley. Stacy Henley, and here's the article one more time, as pointed out right here. This is from this tweet, says, stop using mods to make female characters prettier, says Stacy Henley. Clicks on name to see who it is. Oh, it's a hairy trans woman whining about attractive women and beauty standards again. Imagine my shock. Guys, please keep making mods to make women prettier. So your thoughts, ladies, on the dude who wants the game.
It's always the unattractive chicks with dicks ruining it for all the other chicks, ain't it? That's
yeah, I
basically
gotta amplify that statement because I don't think anything I have to say is YouTube friendly or appropriate. And so basically, it doesn't surprise me that, as Blab said, the chicks with dicks are the ones with the biggest problem of their, I guess, biggest competition, since they're trying to enter a category that they have no fucking business being in. It makes sense why they'd feel threatened by the real deal walking up and making them look bad. It's kind of, ugh, yeah.
They hate it that we literally just live our normal lives.
Yeah,
And
they are
apparently
so
can't.
jealous, I guess, of the fact that we don't let them get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it bother you that this dude's like, hey, make sure that the girls aren't too attractive so I can feel kind of attractive? Like, that would bother the hell out of me if I'm being totally honest
like
with you.
as a biological woman and as somebody who I've been told, I'm not saying this myself, but have been told that I am conventionally attractive, I am utterly disgusted by the fact that these trolls, and they are literal trolls, telling women, beautiful biological women, that they need to tone it down and not want as attractive thing. No. I've been playing video games since I could hold a controller at 2 years old, and I will tell you right now that women should absolutely be beautiful in video games. I've said it before on your guys' channel, and I'll say it again. If I have to stare at this screen for the next 20 hours to beat the game, I want to like what I'm looking at. If the main character is a jacked dude, I don't care. If the main character is a hot chick, I don't care. But they gotta look nice.
You know,
it's just these people are so insecure about themselves. So maybe, just maybe, instead of projecting onto other people, you go and do a little self-care.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they don't want to look at something more attractive than themselves. I mean, you already have trouble looking in the mirror, and you know, you might as well look at a computer screen and be happy for a few minutes. Pretend, you know. I mean, isn't that what it used to be? Like when we were playing games back in the days, you know, when all this stuff, when chat rooms and all that was starting to become a thing, wasn't it that you would create avatars that make you look what you wish you looked like, either in this world or in real life or whatever? You built a character that you wanted to look like. Even now with Baldur's Gate, you build a character that you want to look like. Yeah, it might have horns and a tail and all these things, but like, that's you, right? In the video game. Why is it that these people want to look ugly? They want to make other things look ugly. You know why? It's because they want to feel less bad. It's like the guy that wants you to smoke a cigarette with him so that he's not alone. It's the same thing. Let's ugly the rest of the world so that I look beautiful in comparison. Newsflash, it will never work.
Yeah, actually, I really like what David's saying. They're not actually playing the games, which is true. They're not modding. They're not playing the games. They're just hiding in their basements, asking their mom if they can have a chicken sandwich or not.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Asking their mom. Stacy Henley's over here asking Stacy and Henley's mom. By the way, if you look over on bloody-disgusting.com, I
don't want to.
This is a previous outlet that Stacy Henley wrote for. It says in Stacy Henley's bio, is a gaming and entertainment journalist specializing in cartoons and gender bullshit.
What is that? What does that even mean?
I have so many questions.
You know,
it's the gender bullshit, because most of it, that's like a double-edged sword. Most of the time you hear them being like gender equality or like the other no, this is gender bullshit. I'm almost kind of on board because it almost sounds like they're trashing it, but what the fuck is that? What does that mean?
Oh, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Gregos came in and says, stop making females more attractive. Fake woman most effective. That's right. Rob came in and says, this just in, ugly women offended by attractive people. More news at 5. Thanks, Rob. And Vets Talking came in and says, thanks for the gift on Veterans Day and all the love. Love you guys. Hey, thanks, Vets Talking. Appreciate that. Vets Talking won the one of the 3 $100 Amazon gift cards we gave away on Veterans Day, which was wonderful. Great to hand those out to you guys. Congratulations. And once again, thanks to all of our vets, regardless if you guys won or not. So thank you very much, Vets Talking. Clemson came in and says, Mazda is greater than Madden. Oh, really? Is that right? That's the first one, huh? That's funny.
I have cool rumble rants. Let me just grab. Dust
Fire away.
2 says, it's along the way, and I love it. I love it with Craig. Drinking to those would lead to mass death. And then Mark of Reality for 2 says, I've got news for you. If you've got a dick, then you ain't a chick. No, you don't have the right to tell others what language to use. Now check your chromosomes. I like that one. That's good.
I would say it's their male privilege that gives them the right to tell
It's
people.
very misogynistic, isn't it?
Yes.
It actually is.
Gear came in and says, Craig, Joe did attack Eric on the TMNT April argument for defending her, quote, new design and trying to liken Eric to a criminal. Wow. This is why we prefer sexy women. Thank you, Gear. Appreciate that. That's good. Give it up for Mr. Michael, who came in as a brand new member. Thanks so much, Mr. Michael. And D-Day Codjob came back, says NFL 2K5, still the GOAT. Those early 2K games were great. Mercenary says, when you name and shame, you must always dead name them. SNK fan says, I didn't know Shrek transitioned. John says,
that was solid, dude. That was good.
Stacy's going to be in Shrek 5, actually.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Mo came in and says, they look the same when they're sitting when they sit. Okay. Thank you, Mo. Bonus came in and says, Konnichiwa, side scrollers. Those pesos represented my daily plea for the Fleek. Invite the Fleekazoid on to the show. I want you show him your I want you to show him your budget. I'm not going to show anybody my budget. Bonus.
Is that like some innuendo for something? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Frosty says, even Craig in a wig is more convincing. Also, hi, Blabs. Hi, Mally. Thank you. Appreciate that, Frosty. Abdulio says, speaking of good old games, says, While yes, the good old games are digital, they come with offline installers. So when you download the files, they are yours to keep and store in whatever method you wish to be it, burning CDs or external hard drives. Basically, you make your own physical media. Thanks, Abdulio. Appreciate that. Delta says, oh yeah, Angry Joe aligned Eric. Angry Joe aligned Eric July as a PDF for making fun of April O'Neil as an ugly hunchback gremlin on one of the TMNT movies. The two of them argued, and Joe did his, hey, we're all content creators. Let's be friends, instead of apologizing. Okay. Thank you, Delta. Appreciate that. He also says, I still predict Disney to get raked in the face when Trump tariffs China and the trade war ends, with Disney needing to abandon their 2 theme parks there, either because they are either because we enforce it, or China themselves yoinks the parks. Thank you, Delta. And look at this. Veskerbino came in with 10 gifted memberships. Let's go. Thank you so much, Veskerbino. Appreciate that. That is spectacular. Hey, Blabs, you were saying, by the way, we do have a new donation incentive.
Yes, we do. I created a $200 one because somebody sent me something on Twitter yesterday, and I kind of altered it a little bit. So there is a $200 one.
$200?
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes.
Okay. If you're going to donate $200, do it via Streamlabs. We don't want to give YouTube 60 of that $200. Just throwing it out there. All right. That's pretty good. I hope it's spectacular.
I hope so too.
Sometimes
I wonder if the 150 and the 200 should be swapped. But we'll
I don't
see.
know. I have not seen it.
No, he has not seen it. I told him yesterday. I was like, I got more titties for StreamYards, and he was very confused for a second.
Yeah, I didn't know what you're talking about. All right, let's move on to Twitch. Mally, have you ever streamed on Twitch before?
Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, we've talked about how people in the video game space in particular, there's a lot of broken people right now. Now, Twitch its hub is downtown San Francisco. I mean, I've been to their office. I've seen it. It is magnificent. They have a room for massages. Like, this is the type of company that you have here. You got a massage room.
Twitter 2.0.
Oh yeah, it's silly. Now, I haven't been there since the shutdown and everything like that, so it may have changed. But with that said, the head of I want to really put this out there. The head of global policy and customer support at Twitch, his name is Artis Jenkins, and he is very upset about what happened last Tuesday in the elections, and he wanted to let everybody know about it. So here's his real-time analysis as it went along. So here's his thoughts.
Like the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. 2016 was not a fluke. Donald Trump is the most American president we ever had, and he reflects who America really is. America is a racist country. America is a country that will prioritize a white candidate who is riddled with controversy and inadequacy and racism and bigotry over a highly qualified woman, over a highly qualified person of color. So it's now around 11 o'clock.
Okay. And from here, he goes into his like watching it, but that's really all you need to see about it.
Okay.
Mally, fire away.
Oh boy. Well, I always find it hysterical that their priorities in finding a good president have to do with her skin color and her genitalia. They are awfully concerned about genitalia and skin colors. They've been living in these DEI video games for too long. It's like they want to customize their characters to look the right way, but they don't care about the actual, sustenance of the character. That and Twitch is a cesspool, guys. I am constantly trying to get away from there. And I am working on it right now, but so are so many other creators because of this bullshit. And the fact that this is who it's ran by doesn't surprise me, because really Twitch has just become a giant corn platform. Wink, wink. If you open up the front page of Twitch as like a guest, 9 times out of 10, you will see nothing but bikini streamers. Okay. And like, no hate to women who know they're hot and they want to make monetize off of that on a stream by like wearing a low cut top or something. But it's the fact that they are straight up barely wearing clothes. They're straight up naked. They're actually in pools inside of their house. They have this set up to be for this. It is just a corn site. And the CEO, Dan Clancy, approves of this, encourages it, enables it, allows it, which is why he bans people like me for saying facts that we all know are true, that I can't say on YouTube. He'll ban me after I hit 10,000 followers, literally within 3 minutes of it. But then he'll keep people like that on who think that we're living in a country of racists. If you think that so much, then maybe you should move and stop supporting companies that give their money back to this country. Because I have also seen things that say, just to add my last little bit, that say Twitch might actually get like shut down in the next 2 years. Because for anybody that doesn't know, Twitch is a sinkhole of money. Okay, they're not making any money, despite how many subscribers and bits are donated to these streamers. I mean, you all know them: Jinxie, Sketchreal, Kai. I watch these guys. They get thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, some of them, and Twitch is still a sinkhole of money. Amazon is supporting Twitch, so I don't see a long life for them.
You know, you mentioned the money that's being made. Yesterday, we talked about Nate Shot. He showed his creator dashboard, and he made $250,000 last month.
I saw that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, guys. And a sinkhole. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I do want to play like the last 45 seconds of this because he continues.
Oh boy.
And Elon, get your streaming together. Come on. It's ridiculous. Let me refresh real fast. But
like the saying goes,
I guess the bigger question here is why would Twitch allow this?
Yeah.
Surely Twitch has got to do something about this and make a statement. Be like, hey, we can't have our employees going out and making these statements. Like this idea of putting in your X handle, all opinions are my own. That's really cute in La La Land, but that's not reality, right? You still represent the company, and that's the case in this situation. Once again, I like to reiterate, this is the head of global policy and customer support over at Twitch.
Customer support and global policy. Wow. What a title.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
But the reality is it wasn't nearly enough. The fact is there's no shortage of men and unfortunately women in this country who don't want to see women win. They don't want to see women lead. They don't want to see women have agency over their own bodies. It's terrifying because I see all that women have to endure. My wife is a working professional and she had to endure not one, but 2 C-sections. Fortunately, we're a dual tech income household and we have some of the best health insurance that money can buy. But the reality is most people aren't so privileged. So in addition to be able to afford a C-section.
Wait. I thought he was being held down.
Yeah, I thought he was oppressed. Can't you see the color of his skin?
Yeah, that's how this works, right? I could have sworn, but he's in an incredibly privileged position.
Yeah, and talk about a first world problem. Oh, my poor wife had to have 2 surgeries that saved her life and my children's lives, and the only reason these surgeries exist is to save lives. Oh, my poor wife. Oh, that poor thing. She's probably healed up and the kids are fine. Oh, poor thing.
Let's finish this up here.
We also have the privilege of being able to have paid paternal leave. And as you all may know, America is the only first world country without paid maternity leave. And I can go on and on about how America makes it difficult to be a woman, but everyone knows that. Just that no one seems to care.
Mally, do you care?
No, not one little fucking bit. Not even an ounce. In fact, I'm going to play the world's smallest violin for all of those that do care, because I think I did protect my, what are they saying, autonomous rights? I did protect my future daughters and all of the women that I know with the vote that I made. I did do that.
It's weird that you being a woman would feel the need to, vote the opposite of what this man felt.
Right? Apparently I voted against my best interest. That's what I'm being told a lot. And if I was a different skin color, it would have been even worse. Honestly, I would have been voting twice against my interest. I mean, I guess I just don't know any better.
You are a horrible person. So there's that.
Yeah. I'll put it on my resume.
It's good. Speaking of horrible people, let's move on to Rachel Zegler. But before we do, Rigor Mortis came in, says with the 10, says, thanks for helping me get through my work day. Here's your cut. Let's go. And never forget, #monetize the hate against DSP. Hey, Rigor Mortis, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I imagine you're probably working at some sort of, it's like an undertaker or something, which is great. Furious TV came back, says, I wish Maxon be sued for their I don't even know what's
Subscription
happening.
malpractice, subscriber
Okay.
malpractice.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, Furious TV, I'm sorry. Your autocorrect isn't working right now.
I think he's trying to like,
Shorthand it?
yeah, abbreviate stuff.
Oh,
Software like
okay.
Adobe
Yeah, software. So okay, that makes sense.
does.
Okay. Well, thank you, Furious.
Furious.
Appreciate that. And Mr. Michael came in with 2 gifted memberships. How nice is that? Thank you guys very much. Love that. Com says, just catching up. Craig, hold Concord. Years from now, when people are trying to get complete physical collections, it'll be worth it. I will, Com. Thank you very much. I will hold it, and I'll also hold it on stream every once in a while, which is great.
Like a teddy bear.
That's right. D-Day Cod Job came back, says, I was a drunkard all through my 20s, arrested on DUI charges multiple times, and a huge left winger. Got my stuff together, own a home, and no debt. Now I'm almost pure conserve. Good for you, D-Day Cod.
Listen, chat, everyone do a bunch of clap emojis for D.A. Cod Job for getting his life in order, and that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
a beautiful turnaround, my dude. Congrats.
Way to go. And Bonus came back, says, serious question here. What consoles does Blab and Craig have? And is there a P.O. box where I can send you a gift? We do have a P.O. box. Excuse me. It is down below. You can find it in the description, and it will go to a P.O. box, and I will check it whenever it gets in there. So we have stuff sent to us all the time. It's very, very nice. As far as consoles, I got all the consoles, but I prefer to play on PC. So
I have the Nintendo DS, a Switch, Wii U, Xbox, and I am a PC master race. So
I'm jealous of your DS. I sold mine.
I love my little blue one. It's got like a shiny, like almost glittery finish to it. I named it Rowena Ravenclaw because I
love that.
like
I have
that.
the rose gold one with the sparkle finish.
Yeah.
and Taker says, have Blabs and Mally seen the new Fable trailer where the new protagonist is introduced? It might be worth playing if they haven't.
Okay, I've seen the latest Fable trailer. I don't know if it's the latest one, but I'm kind of intrigued to play Fable. I've never played any.
Yeah, I have not played these either. I also haven't seen it.
All right, it's probably a troll walking around. Ugh. All right, let's move on to Rachel Zegler over here. Now, speaking of people melting down at Twitch in the video game industry, Rachel Zegler has a history of being a witch, ironically. And she has made her witchiness known through her Instagram profile. Now, Mally, have you seen this post?
Oh, I saw it this morning, funny enough.
Blabs, I think this would be best if you read this, because there's 4 different slates to this, parts of her story here. And I would love for you to read it as Rachel Zegler. Can you do that?
I'm going to do my very best as to be a soy.
Okay, sounds good. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred leading us towards a world I do not want to live in. Leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Leading us towards a world that will force her to have baby she doesn't want. Leading us towards a world that is tearful and fearful. I mixed those up. I should be this shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning, and I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in a forgiving and new path forward. This loss should not have been, and it certainly should not have been by so many voters. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Oh, there's so much more. Okay.
Oh, yes, there's more, Blabs.
There's 3 more of these.
Okay. There is also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. It is terrifying the number of people who stand behind what this man preaches. It is a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence. I'm sorry, this is too funny. Of patriotism, of humanity.
Blabs, I love the way you're really digging into this. Of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism.
This is a great impression, really.
I'm trying my best.
Keep going, Blabs. You know.
Yeah.
There is no help, no counsel at any of them. I could go on, but I won't. I feel sad. You probably do too. Fuck this
Now, the irony of all this is that Blabs, she says that she could go on, but she won't. But she does. Keep going. Let's go.
Oh my God. Wait, what's the timestamps between all this? Is it like all posted together after each other, or is it like 3 hours, 5 hours?
They're close to each other. Keep going, Blabs.
Get off of Elon's app, by the way. The fuck are you doing? They're eating you up on Twitter. I don't use that app for a reason. He helped get that man elected, and you're giving him business. Was she 80 years old? I was talking about finding catharsis in art. I don't care if you're gonna pick a fight with me. It's been done before. Find someone real to be mad at today. There's plenty to go around.
She's losing her mind.
She's
Each
insane.
one keeps getting crazier. Let's see.
What's her final thing? Okay. 6 minutes. Okay, so she posts them like 3 hours apart then.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's all. Going on stage for Act 2 now. I need to get off my soapbox before I get too heated. What do you mean too heated? Anyway, sending love to everyone who needs it today. May we all carry each other through the worst and hold these politicians accountable. Your damn govs just got very important. They already were, but hey, follow your governors. Hold them accountable. Local government is where we will make real change. This is not the end ever. I will throw these 4 years as best as I can. Fuck Donald Trump. There you go. Please tell me
And
that's
that, ladies and gentlemen, is your newest Snow White.
Right.
Vote with your wallet.
Oh my God. Just spectacular.
Wow.
Just spectacular. But wait,
No
Blabs,
more.
there's actually one more.
Ah, you liar.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes. Here we are. This is why she voted for the way
I
she
need a
did.
sip of water. Oh God.
Oh, this I did not see.
I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because I love her. Or why am I going country? Or because she's my mama, or because she's brat. I'm not voting for her because I agree with her on every issue. I'm full ready to protest when she falls short. Are you? I'm voting for Kamala Harris because either she or Donald Trump will be president come January. She's good at these election things. And if Hillary Clinton, another deeply flawed candidate, had won in 2016, Roe v. Wade would be law today, and women who are now dead from treatable pregnancy complications would be alive. Because I don't believe trans people and immigrants are the root of our problems as a country. Because I do not want a conservative Supreme Court for the rest of my life. Because I want us to be able to protest her without having the National Guard deployed on us. Because if she loses, I worry I may never vote again.
That's right.
That'd be great. That'd actually be great. Could you do that? Repeal
Can
the
we just
19th.
leave?
Repeal the 19th.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. Society is solving their own problems. This man was elected and everything is fixing itself. It's great.
Is everything fixing itself, Mally?
Well,
Is it?
they try. They want to claim it. They give us a little bit of a euphoric moment to kind of parade it around. But they have tried the 4B movement twice in the last 10 years, 8 years, 4 years, and they didn't do it. So
Is that not the best cell phone like in history? The idea that hey, I'm just not gonna have sex and I'm not gonna have babies, and everyone's like, cool. Like sounds like a great
now
idea.
you don't have to have abortions. That's great.
That sounds
And
awesome.
like, were you having any beforehand? Or are you just really that fugly in your
Yeah,
personality?
that's the thing. Is like I wonder because who's laying them? They're not the ones having the abortion.
They're fellow male trolls who will be like,
Right.
I'll take one for the team.
Hey,
I'll put
can
a
I-
bag on her face.
Can I just be real? Right. There's a lot of dudes out there that really don't care what the girls look like. I'm just gonna be very honest.
Sadly
No, you're
fair.
worth men. You are worth more than the
Yeah, boys,
SJW
you need to
boys.
step it up, guys. Come on.
Just being real.
Yeah.
Just being real.
If they're
Everyone
gonna go out of
step
their
it up.
way, shave their heads, get tattoos, put blue bracelets on, wear masks, the least you could do is keep it in your pants until the right one comes along, okay?
Mm-hmm. Donald J. Trump came in with a couple donations. I like to read off this most recent one. I can't do a Donald Trump impersonation, but I'll try. That Rachel is such a no, I can't do it. I hear it in my head. I
That
can't do it.
Rachel.
You gotta do the mouth, you gotta do the lips.
No, hold on. Hold on. Read a couple super chats. I'm gonna see if I can find a Donald Trump AI AI person.
Okay, let me see if there's some related. Here we go. Gear says those losers will get the taste of their own of what they've done to Shinzo Abe at a squirrel. Their meltdown is very satisfying. I just want to point out, I really like how she's doing this in the middle of like a play, right? She says, "Let me go back to Act 2."
Like, let's go back on for Act 2. I'm like, you're on a Broadway show right now, bitch.
Like, how professional are you? And like, you must not be in the right mental state that you're reading about it, because that's all you're going to be doing once you get back on stage. So
yeah, I don't know about anybody else. I used to perform. I used to do things like that. Music or I was in color guard, marching band, all those things. And you can't really distract yourself right before you go on like that unless you plan to mess up. Exactly. And the fact that she could have lines or a song, you know, a ballad, whatever, and she has to go on like that. It tells you where their minds are at all the time. These mentally ill individuals are always sitting in a state and a cesspool of anger and bitterness. That's why every one of her slides was, "I'm done. I'm not done. Fuck Donald Trump. I'm done." It's like they're so seething. They can't handle it.
I bet you maybe she doesn't even have a line for Act 2. She just stands there looking dumb as a post. Who knows?
True.
John says, Zegler's Ultimate Warriors WCW run in human form.
It's a funny reference. I like it, John. Appreciate that.
Mr. Michael says, "Thank you, Rachel, for the guffaws." I think that's how you say it.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. Appreciate that.
D-Day says, I didn't vote for Kamala because, well, she was Kamala.
Valid.
Norm says, translation, "How dare you make me suffer for the consequences of my actions?" Side note, does anyone else roll their eyes when these loonies talk about a vague hatred and toxicity? Well, yeah. Especially because they're the ones being hateful and toxic. They're on it. DJ for 20 says, "Millie's got the rock hard chin."
Thanks. I my favorite comment that I've ever gotten is the crimson chin, like from Fairly Odd Parents. I fucking love that.
Awesome. Mercenary says, ironically, Razor Fist talks about local government. Yep. She's not wrong, though. Local government is pretty important. SBZ says, "I want Blabs to read my eulogy one day." Sorry. Torga says, yeah. Torga says, "Suffer, Hollywood birthing person, suffer." Did you find your Trump AI yet?
I did. Yes. Keep going.
Okay. Norm says, "There is something wrong with the audio. All I heard from the Zegler post is autistic screaming and crying." I'm sorry, Norm. That's me. Joey says, "Ladies, some men will literally screw any woman regardless of what they look like. That's the reality. Their mind says they see a hole, they do a hole. No standards whatsoever. Listen, everybody needs standards, both women and men. Get yourself some self-respect."
Joey's not wrong.
Crazy T says, "The fact that women didn't have paid maternity is hilarious. Not knowing that's not true. We actually do have paid maternity." Thank you, Crazy. And Mercy says, "I had the gray DS and the DS XL. Still have games for it." Nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I think we're all caught up.
Did you get Aaron? Says another day for Rachel. Thank you.
I
Aaron.
don't even have that on my side.
I got it. All right, so here's some direct donations from Donald Trump. I'm going to use this AI generator. It's free, so we'll see if this works. Hopefully this plays okay.
"Our game developers will root out the writing consultant."
It's British.
That is a horrible Donald Trump.
It's British Donald.
Horrible. Well, let's go play it.
"Hires. They're killing our games and we got to get them out."
It's kind of like a RFK Jr. I'm not even going to play that.
It's so weird.
But Donald J. Trump, thank you very much, says that Rachel is a nasty woman. She doesn't need to worry about her kids because no man will be able to stand for that long. She says she's speechless, then talks anyways. She's been quite a few bombs, so maybe worry less about me. Complete loser. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. Appreciate that. I'm sorry that your AI generator is trash bags. All right, let's move on to our lead today. Okay, I want to preface this really fast and let you know that I know this person. I know a lot of people in the video game industry, and I've known Andy for, I don't know, a decade or so. He has been with Kind of Funny for a good while. Kind of Funny, once again, as a background, was started by Greg Miller and Tim Geddes and Colin Moriarty as a place to go for them after they were quit/fired IGN about a decade ago. And Andy was hired from Rooster Teeth several years ago, and he's become a host. Now, I think Andy is a talented dude, but he lives in San Francisco. He lived in Austin, and he's surrounded himself with the echo chamber, right? And I think it's really important before we actually get into this to kind of preference who Kind of Funny is as a brand. And this was on November 5th, Election Day. I mentioned Greg Miller, and Greg Miller had put this tweet out. Says it's Election Day. I don't want to talk to undecided. Or I'll let Greg say it for himself.
But like, you've had people tell you, don't tell me how to vote or whatever. And I've seen those comments obviously as well or whatever. I think the biggest thing, especially for this podcast and the conversation we're trying to have here, that I'm trying to lead here, I should say more than we're trying to have, is that I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm asking you to vote for Kamala Harris. Like you can do whatever you want. And again, if you feel like you need to sit this out and that you don't want to be a part of this and you can't vote because of a single issue, I'm not going to tell you to vote for it. I'm going to ask you to vote for her and get over that, because I think this is race is too important, that there is too much on the line.
So that's Greg. This is Andy.
Okay.
Okay. Andy came out and he's had a lot of things to say about DEI and diversity, equity, inclusion, and his words, angry grift tubers. And he put this out yesterday, and there's a lot of reception to this. So I wanted to kind of play this, and naturally he's getting the seal claps from everybody in his sphere, but go listen to this. And I feel like there's a lot of overgeneralizations along the way here. So let's go ahead and play this.
You fucking need DEI because you wouldn't have jobs if DEI didn't exist to complain about. You wouldn't be making money on YouTube if DEI didn't exist. So you're really the ones that need it. Unless your game has only white dudes. If you have a woman, she better be fucking hot.
Yeah.
Get an ugly woman out of my game. That lady better be super smoking hot. Yeah. That's the way they think, right? Back in the day, game development studios were primarily white dudes. And they didn't really think about diversity. And that's one thing, right? It was a lot rarer to find non-white dudes in game development. And as that changes, and as college and learning and all that stuff kind of becomes more ubiquitous and more available for everybody, more and more people from different walks of life want to get into game development.
Yeah.
And then what happens then?
They're making the characters the people that they know, the things that they see.
And it's just
like the white people do.
Just like you put yourself into stories, right?
Yeah.
And I talked about that with Dragon Age Veilguard, how the game director, Corinne Bush, she's a trans woman. And sometimes in games, you just put in your own sort of experiences. And that's so natural to happen.
That's what art is.
It's nothing that's supposed to offend anybody. It's supposed to be, hey, fucking walk around and look around. The world has everybody. Your game's having it shouldn't stop you from playing it.
Okay. So there was this statement, and I think, Andy, in his mind, I'm just going to speak for him because I think he thinks that he's 100% hit the nail, the head of the nail, and he smacked that son of a bitch down. And that was an intense own of the chuds along the way. The problem is that he left a lot of really, nuance out of the conversation. Now, to be clear, as a professional podcaster would, I have invited Andy on the show because I do think it's worth having a conversation about this. Now, will he come on the show? Probably not. Will he respond to me? Probably not. But I do want to offer that opportunity because I do think having a conversation about this is actually very important. And I think that it's people can hear his perspective and he can hear someone else's perspective that isn't in his immense echo chamber, right? So Mally, just your overall thoughts there first and foremost. So do you have any thoughts about what Andy said along the way about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how, more or less, listen, you white guys, they're the problem. You're not thinking about DEI and diversity along the way.
Yeah. Wow. So 2 things that I have to say is, one, that he kind of double backed on himself there. Did anybody catch that? Or maybe I misheard him. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he said, well, these things are out in the world and just get used to it. And there's nothing wrong with pulling from personal experience. In fact, it's very common when you take your own personal experience and put it into the game. It would be like your art, whatever. It makes sense. And then like 2 seconds prior, he was saying how it's so wrong that white dudes are the ones making games and using all that they know to make games. Well, it's almost like you're only using all that you know, which is your DEI bullshit, to make your games, which is why no one likes them. And then, my second thing I was going to say is more of just like a quip and also a realization. There's a reason Rooster Teeth shut down.
Listen, as somebody who was in the belly of the beast of Rooster Teeth when Rooster Teeth was going through its transition to from male to female, I'll tell you this. I witnessed it firsthand, and that company went from producing some badass stuff to just being a pussification and a parody of itself.
Yeah.
But the response to this has been, obviously there's been a lot of like, you go, Andy, right? From his echo chamber. Then from people outside of the echo chamber, they're kind of laying it down with that's right, facts and data. This one from Adrian over on X saying, retitle this to the perpetual lie about DEI. Games have always been diverse. Even pre-2014, we had a black protagonist lead in one of gaming's biggest franchises, lesbian protagonists in other titles, and player choice of sexuality in multiple AAA RPGs. The issue isn't diversity. It's forced diversity. It's franchises being co-opted by agendas. It's using games as vehicles for propaganda. Let's end the narrative. Just stop along the way. He mentioned Dragon Age Veilguard. At the end of the day, like there was a report that it's sold over 1 million copies. Awesome. Congratulations. Is that going to reach its 10 million goal or its 5 million goal? No way. There's no way it's 20% of its goal. And it's not going to get there. But the response continues here from Shagsworth, who's had on the show. He says, I can appreciate the passion, but this completely ignores the real criticism of that, quote, angry grift tubers have. You either aren't listening or you've been getting your info secondhand. Gamers enjoy escapism. Not everything needs to be a reflection of the real world. We engage with fantasy worlds to escape the real world. Bad storytelling has plagued both Hollywood and games for the past several years, and it's because we place identity at the center of marketing and narratives, all while telling the audience that, quote, whiteness needs to be a thing of the past. Not a great formula when you talk down to the majority of your player base.
Facts.
Great stuff, Shags, right there. Blabs, your thoughts on this before we get on to some other responses over on X?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. On one hand, some people straight up do talk solely about DEI in video games, and that's it, and only that. And they don't highlight the awesome video games that are out there, and they don't have fun on their channels and things like that. And so I think that one point at the very beginning actually does apply to some people, but I agree with Shagsworth that there is still a huge criticism there.
I think that there are people who talk about DEI as a that is one of their things, or specifically forced diversity when it comes to it. And they talk about it because they are passionate about games. Right. And that's natural. I think that's one of the things that's why we talk about it, because we want the games industry to be successful. And when you look, the reality is that Dragon Age Veilguard is not going to be successful. It's going to underperform. And why do you think that is? Because they see clips online that don't relate to the vast majority of the audience. They don't want to be dressed down for using pronouns for 2 minutes or pulling a barv along the way, doing 10 push-ups because you misgender somebody, or having to put or having the options to think about top surgery scars in a fantasy game, right? Like that's what we're dealing with here. And it's really insane when you break it down and you say, okay, yeah. But it really goes back to who's the game director. Well, somebody who in 2020 got really messed up and decided they want to be a woman, a white male, by the way. Just want to point that out there. Same white male that you're talking about, but we can continue. Let's talk about a black male. Mugen Lord came in, said game developer studios, especially console gaming, weren't primarily white dudes. The Japanese dominated most of the console gaming market back until the early to mid 2000s. The West had become a dominant force. What the hell is Andy talking about? And that's the thing. This whole gaming market originated in Japan, which if you're going to throw all the Asian people in as white people along the way, your entire argument is flawed. The idea that it's only white dudes along the way. No, it's not. The white dudes came later along the way, as it was dominated in the 80s by Asians. It says, it's not about whether or not a chick is hot in a video game. It's people coming into the space and trying to force their ideology onto a culture that has always been that way since before they came into the space. And there it is, to the idea of coming in and pushing everybody out because it needs to be your way. And this is across industries along the way. There's enough room for everybody in this space. The gaming community has always been welcoming. These people have come in and these people could have come in and had their own space. If people want to play inclusive games, then go ahead and make those games for that space. But that's not what they're doing. They're invading other spaces and forcing traditional IPs to adopt their ideologies into the games. Stop fucking with Final Fantasy, Halo, Street Fighter, Tekken, Arkham games, Saints Row, Resident Evil, and the list goes on. That's all we're asking. And I think he nails it right there, right? If you want to make your own IPs, make your IPs and let them work along the way. So, yeah, it's I think that's the most interesting thing about this is I think this really speaks to the disconnect. And I've talked about the disconnect between the games media and the games industry, and specifically the customers all the time. But once again, Andy is a guy who lives in San Francisco. He lived in Austin, which is like San Francisco, Texas, right? Before then. And he's worked for extremely liberal companies in an extremely liberal industry. So naturally, his entire worldview, and you see this along the way with a lot of folks over the last week or so. I try to put myself in their shoes, and Mally, maybe you can speak more to this, but these people, their entire worldview has been shattered. They don't understand why people would vote or think differently than them. And I think Andy and Greg and most of the people, probably all the people at Kind of Funny, and most people in the video game industry have had their worldview shattered along the way, and they don't know how to respond to it. So they're acting irrationally, and they're acting emotionally, and they're saying, I'm not going to see you at Christmas, friend who voted for Trump, or I'm going to cut you off because I chose compassion over whatever. Yeah. I don't know, Mally, am I off on that, or?
No, I feel like you nailed it on the head. I mean, the number of people just in my personal life that I knew that said that they wanted to vote for Kamala out of spite. Out of spite. Like, spite voting is a very real thing. I had multiple friends who registered for the first time to vote this year, which I was so proud of them. Like, regardless of what they voted for, that's a beautiful thing that they've decided to step up and take that control into their, that decision into their hands and their lives, welcome it in. A lot of them had sworn off doing it at all until this, so that's great. But then you have those spite voters out there who registered to vote out of the sake of proving a point. They have forgotten what the intention of voting is about, that it's about them and their well-being and not about anybody else or proving a point or getting a stick in. You know who these people are. They're children who never grew up, right? You don't give the kid the candy they're begging for. What do? They scream and cry. And if it's time to go home from the playground and they don't want to leave, they scream and cry. If they're not getting what they want, then they're just going to throw a temper tantrum about it. And it's really sad. And it's what I've been saying in a lot of my videos recently. I know you guys know that I make a lot of these like stir the pot videos, and I have for the last several years, all through the Biden administration. I did, right? And now we're finally at a point where we can turn the page and I don't have to be screaming like that anymore. But what I am going to be screaming for the next 4 years until something's done about it is the mental illness issue in this country. I use mentally ill as an insult a lot, but I mean it as a genuine definition for what is going on. That is the bigger and more important statement. Yeah. If you're hurt by me calling you mentally ill, big deal. It's also a fact. A majority of the people right now, all of the people that you, Craig, were saying have their whole worlds shattered, or the spite voters. It's like, you are mentally ill. You don't know what's going on. You're refusing to accept even the idea of somebody being different from you. Do you know the amount of conversations I've had with the most leftists? And I can keep my composure. I accepted it 4 years ago when we didn't win. So why is it now that we're not allowed to be friends or family and we're not allowed to talk to each other anymore? Because your guy didn't win. We do this every 4 years, but this time it changes the course of the future. It's because they're children. Unfortunately, it's my generation. It makes me embarrassed because I hear so many people say Gen Z is so woke. No, we're not, and I'm here. Okay, and I represent a lot of people, a lot of kids my age out there that don't feel this way. And a lot of my generation, not all, but I'd say a competing half do. And we need to fix them, and we need to guide them towards getting help, towards therapy. Okay, I bring back mental asylums, maybe reform them a little so they're not as abusive, but yes, bring back mental asylums. Give these people an option that isn't just cutting off their body parts and spitefully voting against their family, because that's not the answer that's going to fix them. Even if they end up staying like this, at least they could get some therapy to become more tolerant or more manageable. But it's the eruption that is so unacceptable. That's why these people need to, I've been saying it for years, but a civil divorce. They're starting to wish it on themselves now. They're starting to say, oh, we should move to blue states. Well, first of all, there's no blue states, but move to a blue city. I agree. Vote in the people, like Rachel Zegler was saying. Use those local governments, right? Make the change that you think that you can make. That is the beautiful path that you should choose. Might not go the way you think it does, because there's not as many of you as you think there are, but I encourage you to try nonetheless. That's my thought.
Love it. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, there's more. As Quarter Black Garrett came in and kind of pointed out the hypocrisy here once again of the of Andy talking about the angry grift tubers along the way, and he said, "You're making money on X or whatever platform your show's on, expressing your opinion on it, so you're grifting." To which Andy responded was, "I don't have monetization on. I need less reason to interact with people like y'all." Oh, there you go right there. It says, "Makes no money doing the shows you're doing." That's right. And then he says, "I get paid to do these shows. It's a clip. I'm responding to a question about Concord and how it failed because it was a $40 game in a free-to-play world, not because it was woke." And this guy's right. He says Helldivers was a $40 game in a free-to-play world. So it's like pointed out along the way. But there was also a back and forth between Marty O'Donnell, who once again is the composer of the Halo theme and worked on many of the early Halo games, who we will have on the show December 6th, by the way. Make sure you guys mark that on your calendar, December 6th, Marty O'Donnell on the show. And he responded to Andy with this. Says, "I wish folks like Andy actually make a game at some point in their lives. Making a living spewing nonsense is a sad consequence of today's media. By the way, I don't think they know the definition of the word grifter." Now, Andy saw this as an opportunity to pounce. And he says, "Hey, Marty, former big fan of yours. You aren't a grifter because you were likely always a shitty dude. I'm talking about people who weren't making a career in games media, simply talking about games. So they decided to dive deep into making content for insecure, racist, homophobic, transphobic people in order to make money. I had 3 years in game development here." Now, I'm going to put a pin in that for just a second. And here's why this argument here doesn't work for me in particular. It's because I've been doing this better and longer than all of them. I'm one of the OGs in this space. I've literally had billions of views of my content. I've launched 3 successful brands. I've developed video games. I've done conventions. So every argument that they can throw at me in particular about being an angry grift tuber and talking about these things that they don't want us talking about, I can just shove right back in their face because I've been doing it bigger, longer. I am the enemy to them because I'm the one who's done everything that they want to do along the way and seen success literally at every level. So, like they can't throw this shit back in my face, but we'll continue here with this. Marty says, came back, says, "Nice work, Andy, starting off by calling me a shitty dude. Here's an offer. Let's meet face to face and you can say that to me directly. I believe social media has not been good for your soul. If you actually made a game and I wasn't aware, I apologize." And this is where Andy immediately goes, "Trumpers resorting to violence," right? That's what he took out of that right there. Says, "I call you shitty to your face and you'd punch me or some shit, but that wouldn't make you less shitty. Diversity shouldn't be offensive or something to whine about. All it is some random dev saying, I'm going to make this NPC a gay black dude because it reminds me of a friend of mine. Then these awful YouTubers cry. They're forcing this gay black man into a story." By the way, it's important right here. Something that's actually really important here. Are they forcing a gay black man into a samurai story, perhaps? Maybe an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in feudal Japan where there were no gay black samurais? I'm just throwing it out there.
Maybe.
It's so unproductive and harmful. They could be complaining about this is where the leftist comes in. They could be complaining about executive greed or mass layoffs, things that actually hurt game development. Once again, why does this happen? Why are mass layoffs happening? Because people aren't buying your games. But they spend so much effort whining about being forced to play a woman in a game or some character's cleavage not being revealing enough. So once again, it's a bunch of chicken shit arguments along the way. So, and Marty responded, says, I'm serious about being concerned for your soul. I never threaten violence. I'm offering face-to-face civil discourse, and you never experience that. You live in a social media world where there is no actual social consequences to behavior that is rude, crude, ignorant, and disrespectful. For your own sake, leave the stupid podcast and try to make something real that people enjoy before it's too late. And by the way, you know nothing about me. This guy said, did you actually respond to me? He said, I don't need to respond to a straw man. So there's that. That is the state of the video game industry right now. And, the thing about Kind of Funny as a whole is they had a large following very early on. And as of right now, and this is the thing that is most amazing about it, is their channel does worse than ours on a day-to-day basis. We're growing. They've plateaued, and you look at their viewership along the way, and we consistently do better than they do on a day-to-day basis. So on a week-to-week basis, and their brand is old news, and that's the reality of it along the way. Gamers have spoken. Gamers are speaking on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. So yeah, great stuff. Mally, you want to put a pin in that or anything? Do you have anything to close that out?
Oh, I feel like my closing thought on it is he immediately felt threatened and said, oh, it was about violence because the man asked to have a civil in-person conversation with him. And as Marty responded and said, you clearly have never had that before because your automatic assumption is just something wild and off, like, oh, you're going to be punched. Well, you might deserve that, but that's not what that was going to be. Or, people nowadays don't just need to do that. It's not like you're talking smack about my mama. Like, you just want to have a civil discussion about these things, but you're incapable of doing it because you want to hide behind a screen. So that's my message to you, Andy, if you ever actually have the balls to come on side scrollers.
I very much doubt Andy will come on side scrollers.
Yeah.
Along the way. So, all right, Mally, we got to get to some support. And Blabs, can you see if there's any support for Mally in particular? And we appreciate y'all popping in. By the way, there is I've been tagged on several things here in the last little bit, which is very intriguing to me. Apparently, the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow. The Game Awards have called on fans to help protect its brand, and they put an email out asking people to protect the Game Awards as a mark, and they're trying to patent the Game Awards. So it's interesting. I've been tagged on several things. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. So that'll be very, very interesting to see how that goes. So
that's awesome.
Yes. By the way, use promo code SIDESCROLLERS to get $5 off your voting membership at therealgameawards.com. We appreciate you guys and your support over there. Head over there right now at The Real Game Awards. Use promo code SIDESCROLLERS. We'd really appreciate that. Nice. Maybe we'll do promo code Jeff as well. We'll see how that goes. Do we have anything for Mally, Blabs?
We do. Actually, this massive $100 that I'm going to go and play the boobies for. Hang on. Please hold. There we go. Okie dokies. DJ for 100 says, Mally Mouse got a chin like Glass Joe. Tried sending this via Google, but Google hates their customers. Had to do this through Edge. Thank you very much, DJ, for the 100.
Thank you.
That is spectacular. Wow. Thanks, Mally. Appreciate your glass.
Mally. Yeah, apparently.
Nice.
Yeah, and that is everything directly from Mally.
All right. Well, let's let Mally roll out.
But before Mally goes, let's have an intervention with Craig. So I've been counting how many times you've been saying along the way, right? After you told me start counting 17 times.
Oh, damn. We need to play the Price is Right game, but we can't anymore.
No, 17 times. And I think I missed a few. And that was after you told me to start counting. So I missed everything in the beginning. 17 times. And Craig, if you look in the timestamps in the document, you will see some of them are spaced by 4 seconds. I'm not joking, bro. We have to have an intervention here.
Blabs, we are having that intervention.
Like, I'm sorry to do this and put you on the spot because now you're going to be very self-aware, but I think this is the only way to fix it.
Hey,
I don't know how effective the intervention's going to be, though, Craig.
I am who I am, and that's
Can
who
we
I am.
please have an emote now? Because the chat's been resorting to going ATW, abbreviation for along the way.
Awesome. I love that. We can have an emote after you put together a supercut of me saying all those 17 today.
Okay, I can do that. That's pretty easy.
Sounds good.
Okay. Word on socials, guys. It's just quick along the way, along the way, along the way, along the way, along the way.
Yep. I love it. Mally, please tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, if you guys want to see more of me today, I will be live in 1 hour over on Rumble and Locals. And if you guys want to support me on Locals, I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers on that right now. I post 2 videos a week and one special one of me trying that Hot Ones hot sauce I was talking about every single month. And if you guys like my fun stuff or anything, you can check me out on all those other platforms that like to censor you. But I like Rumble and Locals, so come check me out over there. I'll be live in 1 hour.
Let's go. Love that.
Mally's description and links and everything are below, guys.
All right. Let's, Mally, thank you very much for popping in and joining us today. We look forward to seeing
Thank you guys
here
for
in
having me on. I'll see you
Fabulous.
next time.
All right.
Thanks,
See you then.
Mally.
Enjoy your stream. All right. Let's get to some support. Let's fire away. What do you got,
Let
Blabs?
me grab Rumble. Mark of Reality for 2 says, Rachel Zegler has a daughter. Raise a toast to whoever took one for the team. No. She's just like saying for like in the future. She would never have a child. Lone Wolf says, and we should go back to the graphics of the Atari 2600 or 2600. Who would the website still complain about the gender, race, sexuality of the green box strewn at the red box? And I think I'm caught up on Rumble. Okay, Local Spoon Ninja for $1 says, did someone say my name when it's a picture of Trump kind of like looking like Arnold Conan? It's really weird. Anyway, bonus for MX50. What is MX? But thank you very much. He says nothing.
Mexican.
Oh, Mexican
pesos.
Thank you. Marlon says, yes, before gaming studios in Japan and China were just filled to the brim with white dudes.
That's right.
Bonus says, without DEI, side scrolls would be all about celebrating amazing video games. And guess what? It would also be a successful show.
Thanks,
Thank
Bonus.
you.
Appreciate that. Been that route. And once again, at the end of the day, we talk positive about games all the time, but we also like to point out the stupidity that's happening in the video game industry. And guess what? There's a lot of it.
Zim says the best or best maybe way to end this is to have businesses and investment firms cut ties with China. It makes more sense when you realize DEI is just China's social credit system exported. Good luck with that. Radial Drago says attacking players for wanting hot girls in games. Aren't those the guys who rated Disney princesses based on which one they'll like to bang? Yeah. And they'll cut your daughter's hair dressed up as a Disney princess. Coakley says, if you like the DEI game, then buy it, play it, and love it. Stop forcing people to love games they hate. I like Battleborn. It died. I move on. Heckin' babies. That's the attitude, bro. Radial Drago says, along the way. Do you know the way? Craig knows the way. Darren says, off topic. I keep seeing the lighted shelf behind Mally, and I think it's a fridge open door. I might need a nap. Sorry, I missed this one from Mally, but no, that's not the Ghostbusters fridge. Scarfy says, they write what they know. I guess this is all they know. Ranger says, for 20 British pounds, says a woke ideology is forced into existing IPs because nobody buys the original IPs like Dustborn or Concord. I understand why they take over traditional IPs. I don't understand why major studios looking to make money indulge it. Great observations. D-Day called job 11 for 2 says, make shock therapy great again. Lol. John says, often when people add an expression to their vernacular, they unconsciously overuse it. For a while, Ripper was saying what it is all the time. Hashtag ATW. Well, here's the thing. Craig's been saying it for like a month now, and now we're just catching on. Mercenary says, I'm autistic and I'm nowhere near this crazy, but we need them asylums. Make them more abusive. No, it's karma on them. Definitely not make them more abusive. Disagree. Mercenary. Crazy. John says, Craig's an OG. He's been along the way. Can we have all the along the way memes on Twitter and Instagram chat? Thank you very much.
Love that.
John says, a T-dub for life. For life. Mr. Michael says, Rachel Zegler says, see you next Tuesday, celeb. Or unless it's just a -C celeb, despite for attention. Aaron says, Andy has no argument, only insults. That's what they resort to.
Yeah.
Garfy says, there is no talking them. We should improve game development tools so normal men can make these games. Mercenary says the real Game Awards equals the real Ghostbusters. Chancho says, I'm done with everyone associated with RT. Craig, did you leave because they were going to make you all wear castration bands?
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of discourse with folks over at Rooster Teeth in a while. Once again, they're from San Francisco, Texas. They're crazy loonies, and it's weird that the biggest thing that I know that they don't is that boys are boys and girls are girls.
It's weird. Weird. Aaron says, along the way. Great show, guys. Along the way.
Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate that.
Gear says, press F to pay respects for the disqualified games from the Game Awards for no reason. Even Madden Evans, the person who invaded TGA, has had enough.
Hey, by the way, use promo code Jeff. That is GEOFF, Jeff, for $5 off your voting membership over at the Real Game Awards.
Just saying, I think you should add along the way. Orthodox Monk says, I at the Side Scrollers Pod X with the secret level trailer, Craig. Thank you very much. Zenix says, we are just normal men who have united along the way. And Brett says, Craig also says, the idea of that. Oh, makes me chuckle every time. That is also true.
Thanks,
we're
Brett.
just ruining Craig's day here. It's like this is abuse. This is bullying.
You are being abusive. It's ridiculous. Token Dave came in and picked up the Normal Man t-shirt, available right now over at sidescrollersmerch.com. Go pick one up for yourself. He said, love the show. Hey, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Go pick one up over there. That's a fine quality shirt right there. We got anything over on Rumble we need to address there.
We are all caught up.
Whoop whoop. All right. Okay, once again, use promo code SideScrollers over at therealgameawards.com. Head over there and become a voting member over there. Just past 600 members, which is great. I would love to get to 750. Love to get to 1,000 before we get to voting coming up in December. So a lot of great things on the way. Looking forward to getting rolling on that. And I also look forward to an email from Jeff Keighley yelling at me very, very soon. So
why you guys have each other's emails?
I'm sure you could find mine. Yeah, which is great. But at the end of the day, man, hey, listen, I think it's very pompous to think that somebody would say, hey, we own these three words together and that we want to trademark these three words. Like, what an asshole. With that said, we'll talk probably more about that tomorrow. Once again, promo code SideScrollers or Jeff for $5 off your voting membership. So it's good stuff. With that said, guys, have a great rest of your day. We got a big show tomorrow when we have who on the show, Blabs?
Ryan Kinnell, confirmed.
Woo! First time ever. Ryan Kinnell joins the show. That's going to be awesome. Yep. Looking forward to that. Oh, look at this. And Salty God came in with the 1999 before the end of the show at the buzzer. Says, all that display showed me is that they never learned and will continue to be ignorant. It's almost like they hated this industry all along and had a blueprint to destroy it from the beginning. Salty God, thank you very much. Appreciate that support. Way to get in under the buzzer. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys tomorrow when we're back at it at 11 a.m. Central Time. Looking for a great one tomorrow. See you guys later. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See ya. Bye-bye.